Elisa M. Herrera, Speech 1110G5555, Informative Speech number 2, Stages of Change. According to Judith Prochaska, Ph.D., Ariane Terahini, Ph.D., and Karen Hauer, M.D., medical students' use of the Stages of Change model in tobacco cessation counseling have high success rates. The topic of today's speech is going to be to inform the public of the different stages of change. After working myself within the Mid-Nebraska Drug Court team, where change was the goal for all participants, I am very familiar with the stages of change. As stated according to the American Psychiatric Association, change research has been developed for dozens of behavioral change programs, including HIV prevention, to help people live longer, healthier lives. That was from a 2003 post in the American Psychiatric Association's website. The main points today are going to be pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. This information is released from SAMHSA. It is being circulated from SAMHSA, a government agency, as of 2011. Pre-contemplation. First main point. It is not that we can't see a solution, it is that we can't see a problem. Individuals who need change often resist change. If there is no problem, there is no reason for change. What benefit is there to change if a problem is not recognized? Many times it is family and friends who recognize a problem and are in the seat to push for change, while the individual who needs the change places blame on issues such as genetic makeup or society. Each stage is important. Thoroughly progress through each. We certainly could do a great deal of change for lifestyles and behavioral risk factors. Contemplation is the second piece. Desire to stop feeling stuck. When you get that feeling deep in your heart that you want to grow and you want to change, that's when you know you've hit the contemplation stage. You have to be willing to acknowledge that a problem exists, and you have to have an understanding that the problem that is taking place has different solutions. A destination becomes known and the path to get there is in sight. However, a person may not be ready to take the action that is needed. Contemplators may say things like, someday I'll do that. I'll get around to that someday. They start to think about the future and less about the past. Once that happens, you know you're entering or have entered the preparation stage. Ambivalence is still present within this stage. You may need some convincing, and you are starting to recognize that there is a potential for different change and change strategies. Also, individuals are starting to indicate a willingness to change. So, new insights are occurring. As those new insights occur, you know that you're progressing onto a new stage of change, which is action. Modify behavior and surroundings. That's what you'll need to do. You'll have to make a move that you have been planning, something you have been thinking about. You'll need a significant amount of support from your friends and your family, maybe providers or caretakers. You'll have freedom to move forward, and that freedom you feel will come from within. You must carry out the changes. According to the Centers for Disease Control program, they recommend that you have the change model. You use it and you know that it is its wheel that you will need to progress through. As you are doing this, you'll notice that the change becomes more visible to others. And when that change becomes more visible to others, you'll know that you're entering what is known as the maintenance stage. You've met your goal, and now you've got to maintain it. You may need new skills to maintain the change, and you'll have to implement new lifestyles so that your change is lasting. You'll have to practice your new coping skills, using new skills to keep steady, to stay focused. Your commitment is what you'll have to focus on. So before concluding the 5 stages of change, we need to introduce that last piece, the graduation piece, or the I've done it piece. Finally, and after probably some relapse to the earlier stages, you'll get to this graduation piece. As the stages of change presented here agree with Kurt Lewin Edgar Schrin, when he stated with the Mayo Clinic, the refreezing stages, making the change permanent is probably the hardest stage. This final stage is when a person becomes habitual and includes developing a new self-concept. You become a person identifying and living for wellness. And that was quoted in 2011. For your information, change never ends with action alone. Support and commitment are also key factors to change. Thank you for listening.